Here are some reasons why end-to-end testing is useful, not only for QA engineers, but also for software developers as well. End-to-end tests is a way of describing the behavior of the system. Therefore, you could use end-to-end tests as a means of documenting how the system should behave under certain circumstances. And you're mapping out the user journeys in both the successful user journeys as well as the unsuccessful user journeys, and making sure that your system can handle weird situations where a user perhaps doesn't have the right roles and is trying to access certain areas of the system that they really shouldn't be accessing. Or you can alter the user's account to have bad data and see how the system actually handles that. And of course, the happy paths. So you can say that this behavior is where a user goes from point A to point B to point C successfully, which means that you gain confidence in your system. And that confidence is given to you every time you run the end-to-end tests, which is why it's super important to have end-to-end tests when you're integrating code into the stable branch, the main branch of the software. This is incredibly useful, of course, when you are upgrading your framework, because what you're doing when you're upgrading the framework is you are essentially replacing other people's code that you are relying on with better code, perhaps, that they've changed. And you want to make sure that the code that you integrate with still works in the manner in which you've defined, in the behaviors that you have plotted out in your user journeys. And as I mentioned, you can use the behaviors as a means of documenting how the system works. And it's not just for QA engineers. Software engineers should also be able to write end-to-end tests, and they should require end-to-end tests as well when they are adding new features, especially major features that change and alter other areas of the code that perhaps they're not aware of.